Norse Myth, written by Keith and Sarah Cottermutton, illustrated by Matthew Forrest. Focus question: what are some common elements in Norse myth? Introduction: Norse people lived between 700 and 1100 CE in Scandinavia, an area of northern Europe. Fierce Norse warriors, known as Vikings, raided many other lands in Europe during this period. In Norse mythology, gods lived in a place called Asgard. They fought ongoing wars against giants for over 1,000 years. Many tales of the battles have been told. Odin's search for wisdom. Odin was the chief of Norse god. He prized wisdom above all things. One day, Odin's raven, thought and memory, told him of well they had discovered. Whoever drank from this well would have all the knowledge of the universe. A giant who knew more of the secrets of the universe than any other living being guarded the well. The Odins traveled toward the well and spoke to the giant. I can see what happens in heaven or earth, but I cannot see everything. You name for the drink of your well. The giant said, I demand one of your eyes. Then I, too, will be with the mysteries of heaven and earth. Odin hesitated and then said, Very well, I'll promise you one of my eyes, exchange for one drink from the water of the well. The giant slowly filled a cup to the brim with clear water from the well. Soon as it was full, Odin snatched a cup and drained it. Before it rolled away, Odin left one of his eyes at the bottom of the well. He became the wisest being in the entire universe, except for Giant himself. From that day, Odin put his head down and over his one-eyed face, so that no one could recognize him. Making of Thor's hammer. The trickster of Loki was well known for his prank. One day he went too far. He cut off all the golden hair of goddess Sif, the wife of thunder god Thor. Loki promised the angry Thor that he could knit new hair for Sif. Then he went to the woods of drafts. He knew there were master artists who could create the new hair. Aside from Sif's new hair, the dwarfs made other gifts for the god and the goddess of Asgard. They include a magical ship of the world's deadliest spear. Seeing this gift, Loki's grief overcame him. He took this treasure to another group of dwarfs. Loki taunted them, saying, I'm sure these are the greatest gift ever made. I know you're still craftsmen, but I walk up my head that you can't make anything equal to this. The dwarf accepted the trickster bet. They make a golden ball that could run faster than any horse. They also make a magical golden ring. As Loki saw these treasures take shape perfect, he became nervous. Finally, the dwarfs began to make a war hammer. Loki thought of a way to win the wager. He turned himself into the fly. Then he stung the dwarf on the eyelid just as the hammer came out on the forge. Now, the dwarf couldn't see what he was doing. Although he made the most powerful war hammer ever created, his handle is slightly too short. Loki took his treasures and returned to Asgard. Sif was restored, and then the hammer became Thor's weapon from that day forward. Thinking that they had won the bet, the dwarf followed Loki to Asgard. As they advanced on Loki to take his head, the trickster thought quickly, pointed out that while the other dwarfs had won his head, they have no right to his neck. The dwarf instead sewed Loki's mouth shut as a punishment for his trickery, then left satisfied. Adam's apples. One day, while on a journey, Odin and the trickster Loki became hungry. Spotting a herd of oxen, they decided to butcher one for dinner. But when they began to fly out, the ox wouldn't cook. The eagle spoke to them. I have cursed to your meat that it won't cook. However, if you give me a share, I'll leave the spell. The gods agreed. However, as soon as the meat was cooked, the eagle swooped down and took off the best piece. That's wasn't our badge, Loki cried. He set a huge side tree branch and swiped the eagle in his anger. The eagle caught the branch and Big flew off with Loki staggering from the other end. Loki found that he had been placed under a spell that he could let go of the branch. What? A minute? Wait. Conclusion. Many stories about the Norse gods. These, those told here, they are tales of conflict between the gods and the giants. The giants represented darkness and winter. The gods battled them constantly to restore light, warmth, and growth. Eventually, the gods faced the giants in a great battle. Some of the gods survived and returned to remake human race. These no stories treat like a life just like a life cycle. Death and destructions or opportunity to begin and wait here. Turning into a hawk, he flew to the mountains and found Odin alone in the house of the giant. Thinking quickly, he turned into a knot and flew away, clutching her in his talons. When the giant returned home, he was injured to discover Odin gone. He he transformed back to an eagle and perched Loki in his flight. As eagle near Asgard, the other gods were flying desperately. With the eagle close behind, they stacked up logs around the outer wall. As Loki flew exhausted into the palace, the god lit a fire. The eagle couldn't stop himself. He flew directly into the wall of flames and was killed. So the gods of Asgard regained their job and defeated the giant.
Good job!